problems when it comes to leaving a secure job. Mary-Louise, now president of the International Yoga Teachers Association, joins me now. Warm welcome to you. You're back really almost where you started, are you not, in terms of top of the tree territory where it's all consuming. So I'm wondering, have you come 180 or 360 on this one? And therefore, what's the lesson in that? It seems rather paradoxical.
Well, it's a little bit different in running a non-profit organisation to being a senior manager in a major international publicly listed company such as Apple or Cisco Systems. So there's less emphasis on profit, more emphasis on well-being and how can we make people, and particularly yoga teachers, better qualified. So that's what the IYTA is all about.
What was the trigger point? What was the kind of rubber band stretched so much so that it was about to snap, or indeed did snap moment?
Look, I think it's similar for a lot of women who eventually choose to have children. And then it's, what's the balance, what's the lifestyle balance for me? Can I continue working 60, 80-hour weeks, travelling around the world, being on hand to attend meetings in New York or Silicon Valley, versus being there for my kids, having a lifestyle balance, not only for my kids, but also for me personally. And we're finding, we did a recent survey of not only our members, but of the yoga community, and we found that over 50% of our members had actually come from the corporate workplace into choosing yoga as a profession. And these included lawyers, engineers, scientists, teachers, marketing professionals, HR professionals, are looking for, well, what is it that I can do to bring more lifestyle balance? And of course, yoga now is the fastest growing sport in Australia. So it's on a pretty big growth platform. And
with that comes the need to, of course, have some standards that everyone's signing up to. But just on that point of, what you might cluster as the burnout brigade, to everyone that you were just talking to there, the engineers, the lawyers, etc. When we talk work-life balance, the balance part of it seems to me, well, they've had everything and now they've discarded everything. Where's the ability to hold the two together in balance?
So when you say they've had everything,
yeah. Well, in other words, they've had the pressure.
They've had the pressure, and a lot of money.
Yeah. So, but okay, on the latter, can you really, without that cash in the bank? I mean, how empowered are you to make the plunge in real terms?
You know what? I think a lot of people are hooked on big salaries, and I found this when I even went part-time after having children, and I chose not to get the new BMW. I chose to get a smaller car. I chose not to upgrade my house to the 6-bedroom house and stay with a 3-bedroom house. You've got to really sit back and think, okay, when is enough enough? And
then yet again, a 3-bedroom house gives you the option on having classes inside those 4 walls versus being in a 1-bedder, where that proposition would be altogether more invidious. So to that extent, it is still about the capital underpinning everything, is it not? And that only is achievable once you've been in that stress pot for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, look, it all comes down to personal choice. I find, well, from our research, we're finding particularly a lot of women are coming to the conclusion that they do not have to be these super women, and they can't. It's at the sake of their own health. And what is more enjoyable to me, how can I use my brain intellectually in setting up a small business which includes teaching yoga to corporates, includes setting up a school, and how can I bring in an income which is sufficient to cover my costs? Of course, if you've got a 2-income household, that helps. I'm a single mother, and I've been living off a yoga income for some time. I do have a small IT company on the side, though.
Right.
But yeah, and we're encouraging more and more corporates to perhaps think about how do you not lose your key executives? How do you set up more of a better lifestyle?
And responsive to that, I mean, just as a snapshot, really briefly, what would you say the mindset is right here, right now?
Look, it's getting better. It's getting better. More and more of the top 50 are providing packages which include incentives to do things like yoga, and you're actually given bonus points or you're given internal classes. The concern we have there is the qualification of yoga teachers, and that's where IYTA comes into it. My presidency role in this organisation is that we make sure that yoga teachers are professionally trained, so when corporates do employ those people to come in and give that lifestyle balance to their employees, that they do have a proper qualification. And that's a big problem in the industry at the moment, with people chuffing off to Bali to do a 1-month course and call themselves a yoga teacher.
Wow, okay.
So that's a problem. That's another side.
There's another side.
But yes, the corporates are getting better at providing a package for the well-being of their employees.
Okay.
So it's a big question. It's a big debate that really needs to be had. I think it is being had because organisations are losing top executives, particularly women, and men are looking for lifestyle balance too, but women with families, it's proving a big problem. So how do we overcome that? Yeah.
Well, thanking you indeed for carrying the flame over it, giving us the context too, alongside Mary-Louise.
Well, I would invite people to come to a conference we're holding in October at Sydney Town Hall, and they can find out a lot more about yoga from doctors, from professionals at that conference in October.
President of the International Yoga Teachers Association. There'll be more information, no doubt, on their website on that measure for the October conference. But for now, that is the show.